So one question I have is like, is we all know games are of course interactive, but the issue of like interactive music in games, like I've made a few projects that have interactive music, but to me it kind of, do you think that it kind of composing kind of loses something with interactive music? Because in old games I used to be like, I really like the tune on level 6. But now if I play a game, it's like, oh, well, they're blending in the danger music because I'm close to an enemy, and then my health is low, but when I healed and it's playing a slightly, there's no songs in some of these games. It's like blended looped tracks using, Fabric or one of these different things. How do you feel about interactive soundtracks versus composed soundtracks, or is it a happy medium?
Yeah, it sounds like what you're describing is that sometimes when we get a little excited about a new technology that allows us to do fun, interesting things artistically, I think sometimes we can lose sight of the end goal, which is to make something. Well, in the case of music, you want music that sounds good, that's engaging, that helps convey what you need conveyed, which could be emotion a lot of the time, or something around the story, but you want to help guide the person experiencing the media. If it's a game, the player, you want to guide the player at times, or help support how they're supposed to feel. And again, I think this is what you're describing. I think occasionally the person creating the music gets a little too excited, just like the loud footstep thing. It's like, oh wow, I can make the music react to this parameter, and I can slightly change it because of that parameter, and you just kind of go crazy with it, and it's like your technical mind takes over, and you stop listening, you stop hearing what it really sounds like, which is kind of crappy and weird. If that's what you're talking about.
I just kind of feel like a lot of game soundtracks aren't memorable anymore because they're so dynamic. It's just.
Well, it's life. It's like letting AI write a fucking article, and you read the article, and halfway down the page, you're like, who wrote this? Why does it feels hollow?
Well, the interactive soundtracks, they're handmade, but it's almost just like.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if I'm talking about the same thing.
For instance, we're going to go deep in the weeds, but like I did a game with interactive sound using Wwise. I don't know how do you pronounce Wwise?
I just say Wise. I give up.
And in that one, like you can make several different loops. And you can turn ones on and off. They're all parts of the song. But if your health is low, you keep these loops on, or you swap them out. So like the music changes based on the situation, which is technically cool. But in my game or in games that have that type of technology, I can't remember a single. Like I would never I would never buy a game soundtrack for this game because I don't even know what the music is because it's always changing. Whereas like I think a very early example of a dynamic soundtrack would be like Street Fighter 2. When you would get to the end of the match, they'd speed up the music and maybe even change the melody a little bit, but it's still a recognizable tune. I don't know. I just feel like some games go a little bonkers with the interactive music.
No, I think we're kind of, we might be talking about the same thing, but also maybe there's multiple things involved here. Do you remember something called Direct Music Producer that Microsoft had?
Yeah.
This was like 25 or more years ago. And I could never quite make anything with it. It was really hard to use.
Yeah.
And it demonstrated some concepts of interactive music pretty well. And there were some people that figured out how to use it. I never did. I don't know what I'm going to say about that. But
I was curious because.
There's a thing. There's a thing lately in more recent years. I find myself pretty often. I don't get to decide the music that's needed for a game, but I find that you don't need music playing all the time. Like in the game I'm working on now. There's exploration. There's moments where you just want to hear what's happening in the world. You don't need music kind of all the time. Some games, it does call for constant music, but there's sort of this approach when you write music for a game where you know what's going to happen generally, and you create a piece of music that fits with that. And what you seem to be describing is that you might have some of that, but mostly what's happening is just it's parameter driven.
Yeah, basically, yes.
And I think it's trickier because to make something that sounds memorable and is engaging that way, because you're dealing with more pieces. Not that it can't be done, but maybe it's easier to wind up with something that doesn't. I don't know.
Well, no, I'm just thinking like the music sounds good. It's just not memorable.
I'm not a game composer anyway.
Right.
So
Okay.
I probably shouldn't talk too much about this, but I'm around it all the time. But I think kind of what I was saying in the first place about you get excited about the ability to control so many different to have the music be affected by so many different things in the game. And it turns out, I feel like the solution is often a lot simpler.
Yeah.
And you don't need every parameter to affect the music because it just gets a little too much.
Yeah, just
so maybe that's really.
In my opinion, just kind of makes the music not memorable. Like I don't remember the melody because it's always changing.
I think that so that is what you mean.